Well, a very good afternoon. Welcome to Transform Kenya. And today we are having a critical conversation on matters food. Now, this is not the normal conversation we've had on food security, but is on the production level. Well, can we do sustainable agriculture in the country? That's the big question that everyone is asking. And today we'll be having a field day right here on Transform Kenya to make sure that you're properly informed how you can get into sustainable agriculture. What does it mean? What are the pros? And how actually is it to get on top of this discussion? My name is Nokip Kimboy, and today I have a heavy panel of gentlemen. I know tomorrow is International Women's Day, and since today is all men panel, tomorrow we will do all female panel. I can promise you that right here on Transform Kenya from 7:30 to 9. But let's talk sustainable agriculture. Joining me today, of course, on my immediate left, I have Mr. Robert Kariuki, who's a farmer, vegetable farmer for quite some years right now. Welcome to the show, sir. We also have Mr. Njoroge Migwi, who's also a farmer, and he does one of the most beloved products in this country. In fact, if his product is missing in some of our diets, it brings quite an issue. Talk about avocado. Yes, I knew Mr. Migwi does avocado farming. Then right next to Mr. Migwi, we have Mr. John Katila, who's a field technical officer for the Western region for Real IPM. Welcome to the show, sir. And to the farthest end, we have Samson Mwangi, field technical officer for Kirinyaga, of course, courtesy of Real IPM. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. And this is quite an interesting conversation to begin with, because when you talk about sustainable agriculture, it seems far-fetched, yeah? It seems it's been painted as very expensive. It's been told, you know, as a farmer, you have to use chemical products. That is what will give you yields as soon as possible, because right now we are in the edge of as soon as possible. But before we delve into that, I would like us to start with sort of just to understand, because Real IPM, of course, is powering Transform Kenya today. Thank you very much. We'd like to understand, starting with you, Mr. Katila, Real IPM, you know, there's no fake IPM out there. Talk to me about Real IPM. What do you guys do?
Okay, thank you so much. Welcome our viewers. Real IPM is a biological producing company that is started or got registered in 2003, and as we speak now, it is a member of Bio-based group, and it does a lot of production of biological products and also what we say the predatory mites, whom we sell to small-scale farmers and also to the large-scale farmers, and we are actually based in Thika.
Okay.
Now.
Lovely. Just here in Thika. But you say it's pegged on sustainability. And I'm glad you're part of this discussion, because since we're talking sustainable agriculture, it becomes very critical, the products that we offer into the market, whether they're sustainable or not.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
And that's where I want to bring in Sam to kickstart us off in this discussion. We talk about sustainable agriculture. What does that mean?
Okay. About sustainable agriculture is a form of farming where you are cognizant of that sustains or that meets the needs of the current generation and the next generation, the future generation. Bearing in mind it is pegged on three major pillars. Farmers' profitability. In this we say that form of farming, you must make profit. You are not just there to feed the nation. Yes, it's good to feed the nation, but put something in your pocket. Secondly, sustainable agriculture really matters. It is much pegged on socio-economic. Socio-economic means the diseases, the health of the user, the biodiversity. So that's where we want that form of farming, that the farmer is able to, you farm today, tomorrow and the other day, and your health is still good. Then also the environmental health. Ensure that what you are doing, the farming that you are doing, is not affecting the rivers, is not polluting the soil, is not polluting the surrounding. So sustainable agriculture cuts across those three major pillars, and those are the three pillars that we will discuss here together with my fellow panelists.
That's quite incredible. So you're saying, first of all, it has to put something into your pocket.
Yeah.
Then socio-economical bit of it,
Yeah.
and environmental health. Yeah. I don't know how many farmers sit down when they're making their calculations and they want to plant something and they say, let me think about the environment, let me think about the socio-economic bit of it. I only think about the money I'm gonna get because I mean high cost of input and whatnot. Yeah, that's why we have farmers on this panel to give us sort of the farmer psyche. All right, to understand this. And I'll start with you, Mr. Migwe, because you an avocado farmer, and you know, as a country, we appreciate avocado farmers. We love avocado farmers. Did you used to do unsustainable? What form of agriculture were you doing before crossing over to what has been described as sustainable agriculture?
Okay, beforehand, we had been using the synthetic type of agriculture, whereby we were using fertilizers and other chemicals. But we found that on the health side of it, we started getting people started complaining of cancers and other diseases. That's why we decided to shift from synthetic farming to organic farming.
Okay.
Okay, then on the part of the production part of it, when you come to production, the cost of production is lower compared to the synthetic one. Because right now, a bag of fertilizer will cost well over 4,000 Kenya shillings. But with organic farming, you get the same what? Which will cost that thing, which will do what?
Actually, with the same amount.
Exactly, with the same amount, costing 2,000 shillings, will produce the same amount of whatever you wanted to produce, that is. Yes. So production cost is lower, but the harvest is maximum.
Okay.
Yes.
That's quite an incentive. Mr. Robert, I mean, looking at this, moving, because we've had this discussion before, if sustainable agriculture is this good, and we'll look at the pros and the cons, if there are cons, to matters sustainable agriculture. But for you, how did you bump into this idea of sustainable agriculture?
Thank you. So actually, I've grown up in a farming community, and I've seen the challenges that people back home went through in farming. So I've seen reduced yields with increasing costs, like pumping in more fertilizers, more pesticides, but the farms do poorly, more poor with each season, each year. So actually for me, from early on, I tried, or I've experimented with, say, organic farming. And I got into things like composting and all that. Yeah, so of course there have been challenges even with composting, because there's not much information. You have to source for yourself. And that's why we are grateful, for such products as this, the biofertilizers, because they really make work easier for people who want to do the sustainable agriculture, as he explained it.
Okay.
Although we were not aware we were doing sustainable agriculture, but it's to try to avoid those challenges that we've gone through before. And also, there's a time we were doing tomato greenhouse farming, and we had a serious problem of white flies. Yeah, that time we were doing the conventional kind of farming, and we tried so many pesticides. And you have to spray every other day, and also with tomatoes you have to keep harvesting like almost every week or so. And it was very stressful, working in that environment, and you get respiratory problems. You have a lot of fatigue because you are taking in a lot of chemicals.
Yes.
Yeah, so, and actually at the end we could not even solve the problem. Yeah, so that is how I have become a very staunch advocate, so to speak, of these sustainable agriculture, or using products that are safe.
Okay.
Yes.
Definitely. Hey, so, based on your experience growing up and the way you've seen farming being done, then you had to look for a better way, and that's how you bump into sustainable agriculture. And Mr. Katila, I want to bring you in because he's mentioned something interesting. They used to do this spraying of tomatoes. Then you live there tired, you inhaled a lot of, and that brings or puts the products that we use. When you talk about sustainable agriculture, one of the pillars is the kind of products that we use. So at Trilla IPM, you guys make quite a number of products. Is it made from chemicals and slapped as sustainable agriculture, or how do you make your products so that we can tag them sustainable?
Okay, thank you. From what you are championing as a company, as my colleague just said, we are looking at the utmost better working environment for both the human and the microorganisms. What we can see and what we cannot see. To work in what we call symbiotic environment, to work in a conducive environment for each and every organism, be it a human being, be it a microorganism we are not seeing, to be in tandem of production. As a key thing that we play and a champion as a company, we have various products, and beauty part of it, as we look at sustainability, we are looking at the growing of the soil, we are looking at environmental safety, we are looking at the human safety, and we're also looking at how can this soil feed this generation and the coming generation too. And then we bring up products that can be used to bring up the soil to its original state. We normally say we work on the resilience of the soil to bring it to its productivity. Because we are not looking at this generation, we are looking at the oncoming generations.
Okay.
How are they going to benefit from our activities? How is the oncoming generation going to benefit from what we currently do? So as a company, as I said, as we produce the biologicals, as we produce all those sorts of products,
Yes.
that is our key mandate. Looking at how can we replenish back our soils that look depleted and non-productive.
All right.
And that is why you have a blend of products from what I said, from the microorganisms, from what we call the natural enemies, the predatory mites, and also the biopesticides. So looking at what we have here, these are non-chemical products that are friendly to the environment, friendly to the user. When the user acquaints himself or herself with the product, will not undergo what we say those are chemical poisonings that we normally experience. that maybe you'll see a farmer getting exhausted, getting tired, contracting some chronic diseases. So that is what we want to curb as a company.
Okay.
And working on the three spheres, that is environmental, profitability, and socio-economic equity. So we look at even women inclusivity
Yes,
in crop protection.
definitely.
You know, it has been a norm that it's only men who can carry chemicals to spray around. But looking at the nature of our products that are non-chemical, we are also looking at how can we now onboard women farmers?
Definitely.
How can we bring farmers on board and women who can also use our products that are harmless?
That's true.
So that is what we are looking at, to work on championing sustainability, to work on bringing generations that can produce much from whatever we call depleted soils.
Okay.
Now bring it back to life.
Definitely.
So our products are chemical free. They're produced from either native microbes, the microorganisms that maybe we get it from the soils, microorganisms that we get it from nature actually, and then as a company we do produce them, we package them and sell,
Okay.
and give back to the community.
All right.
So even when you look at the margins you are actually putting these products on, is just like an aspect of giving back to the community.
Okay.
To make us grow our ecosystem, to make us grow our soils
Okay.
to the production and productivity nature that we are missing.
All right.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is a very good proposition, to be honest, Samson. You know, it's a very good idea. And from the basic and the foundation that you've laid so far, it seems very achievable.
Yeah.
But it's not as popular as we would want it to be. Why not?
Okay, about sustainable agriculture, it is a path that has not been toured by many. That is why the IPM came on board back in 2003. By then, we were doing a lot of exports. We produce, we export. We produce, we export. Until 2018, when Biobase took charge of the company, then we were told, you produce very good products, yes, but you export to the farmers. Now, how about these African farmers, these Kenya, the native Kirinyaga farmer? How does he has to benefit from your products? That is when we started going to small-scale farmers, like the two, Mr. Joroge and Mr. Robert. That we started getting to small-scale farming. Training, we do a lot of training, we do a lot of demonstration, we do a lot of field days, but mark you, we started on 2003, but the gospel, this sustainable agriculture gospel, is reaching that native farmer but from 2019 to date. So is a path that has not been toured by many,
Yes.
but Real IPM, with the partnership of AgriFi Kenya Challenge Fund, we were funded by AgriFi Kenya Challenge Fund. But European Union has been telling us, let's take the gospel to the small-scale farmer.
Okay.
We have Slovakia. They have funded us. They have told us the farmer in the European Union, they are very comfortable with your product. But you, Kenyan farmer, you are opening your market to those toxic, burnt chemicals. Now that is when we started going to the small scale. So we have been into the small scale from 2019 to date.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely. Mr. Migwe,
Yes, sir.
what is saying, yeah, the gospel of sustainable agriculture, it's not as received as we would like it to be. Why is it not a common practice across this country?
Me, I tend to think, maybe as he has said, it is as late as 2018 when they started spreading the gospel. But us, when we partnered with them, we have seen so many actors in the field. For example, we have partnered with our buyers, the buyers of our products. For example, we have got one Mr. Cheke from Horizon. He told us he cannot buy a product if it is not organic. For an organic product, one piece will cost about 20 shillings, while the other one will cost only 5 shillings. So we decided now to join organic farming because you harvest more.
Okay.
You earn more. And the farmer is definitely comfortable when he earns more. Yes.
Ah, that's quite interesting. Robert, still on that same issue, if sustainable agriculture holds so much potential, why is it that it's not widely practiced in this country?
Okay, first I think it's an issue of awareness. Many farmers are not aware of sustainable agriculture and also how to do sustainable agriculture or how to do organic farming or even incorporate organic farming practices in their normal farming methods. And like I told you before, we were actually doing things like, we know things like how to make compost, you should mulch, you should do that. But you see that in itself is not enough. Because from that you don't get sort of enough nutrients and enough enough soil correction materials, especially if your soil has been very depleted. So what do farmers do? They resort back to the conventional methods very fast. But now with such products, they make it profitable. Yeah. So I think farmers need to be aware that such products are there.
Okay.
I think also there needs to be more technical people who are advising farmers. For example, myself, and I have a small team where we also reach out to farmers to make these products available, like real IPM products. And farmers are really appreciating, because once you tell them that it's possible to do sustainable farming profitably, not just as a hobby, but profitably, they will do it. Yes, because now you see there's a lot of campaigns for the conventional means. Yes, it's not that the conventional means are bad, but they are not enough.
Okay.
Also, because you see the soil is becoming more and more depleted.
Yes.
And also you have serious issues of things like acidity. Farmers have to put lime, things like that. So if there can be more efforts, like also like what you are doing now, this conversation is very good, because you see now farmers will know that there are methods or there are products they can use that will both help them achieve profitable farming, and is also good for their health and good for the environment.
Okay.
Yes.
That's very important to note. And I know, Mr. Katili, you work in the Western region for real IPM. Briefly, in less than 2 minutes, in terms of farmers transitioning to sustainable agriculture, what might be the barrier, or what is sort of slowing down that uptake?
Okay. What I can say, with adoption of sustainable agriculture, it's not something we can just get up and start implementing. It is something that grows gradually.
Okay.
So, from the norm and from what we know is, not all farmers are adoptive at once. So we have those farmers that are really adopting the use of our products as an item of sustainability, and we have farmers that are slow in adopting. So I can say is if we actually accelerate, we actually have that backup in terms of the technical aspect in terms of getting to the farmers and also having those lead farmers, getting to other farmers that take time to actually adopt any given technology, and then slowly by slowly we will be getting to sustainability.
Okay.
Yeah, because from the look of the whole thing, the practice is not like instant.
Okay.
Yeah, because it has been a while our soils to get into that state.
Definitely.
So we need to actually get maybe to the same steps for us to actually bring it back to its sustenance.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And we want to go for a short break, commercial break. Then we come back, we talk to the farmer who wants to transition to sustainable agriculture. How can they do it? That is one. And also to the consumer. Do we hold a responsibility of this shift to sustainable agriculture? Well, that will be coming up shortly after the break. Stay tuned. It's going to be fun. Jalon Jalu. 20. All right, welcome back to Transform Kenya. The discussion is about sustainable agriculture. How can we make sure that we are doing our agriculture in a more sustainable way? Just self-describing right there. And right here on this particular table, we have quite a number of products, and we also have a net. Sir, could you pass me this one so that I can just have a look at this one? I know you're wondering, okay, Noah, are you going fishing or something like that? No, I'm not going fishing. This one is called a vertical bag, okay? So it's green in color with a lot of holes. And what you do is that you fill soil, okay, into this vertical bag, and then you can plant your products through these holes, okay? Sustainable agriculture. You're saying I live in Nairobi, the concrete city. You can use vertical bags to do sustainable agriculture on your balcony, or at the back of your house. Can make a little bit of a difference. But I want to go that end, and just it is the planting season, I'm told. Yeah, Sam and Mr. Katila. It's a planting season, but again the rains have been doing that thing. Yeah, they are not coming when you are waiting. The rains are not coming. But at this particular moment, maybe briefly, we can delve into some of the product of the season. Which ones are these?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Noah. As we get into the planting season, which is the most peak season that farmers look up to in terms of productivity, as real IPM, we also have key products that a farmer can adopt as also a tool of sustainability, looking at the three spheres of soil protection and growth, and also environmental safety. So we have a product here we call Mazao Flourish. This is a biofertilizer that we do produce as a company, as real IPM. It is biological in nature, which means it has several microorganisms. Just but a few to mention is there's a microorganisms that helps in fixing the nitrogen. We call it nitrogen fixing bacteria. So looking at how the crops grow and establish. So this is one product a farmer can use in his or her planting procedures and protocols to actually realize some yields or high yields. And also these will help the farmer to cut on cost of production. Because once the farmer adopts these and uses it in recurrent seasons, we'll realize that the farmer at long run will cut on the use of synthetic and maybe not use any of the synthetic fertilizers in his or her farm, because he has upgraded on the microbial levels and also replenished what we call the soil beneficial nature.
Okay.
So the farmer will really cut down the costs. And when you look at the profitability, when you talk of production, we are also looking at what the farmer nets at the end of production. We all know the cost of the synthetics now in terms of the fertilizers. We are also trying to cut on those costs by introduction of biologicals for the farmers to have a good margin to save for other seasons and also other activities in the farming lane.
Okay.
So this is one of the products that we position,
Okay.
Mazao Flourish, to cut across all crops. These, be it a maize farmer, be it a beans farmer, be it a vegetable farmer, can use this product. And it is a product that we've done a lot of trials, we've done a lot of research on it, and it is really working pretty well and pretty good, I think, across the country.
Okay.
Another product we have, and we are putting it on the season, is this, from the look of the eye, looks so small product. It's called Grow Plus. Grow Plus is also a starter fertilizer that a farmer can adopt and use in this planting season to also cut on the planting cost, and also integratively work on the soil structures by reduction of those available chemicals that the shambas or our farms get through granulars or granulated fertilizers. So we have this one to actually reduce or cut those costs and also replenish back our soils. So these two products are the product we are positioning for the planting season. Okay. And I can tell you for free, farmers have used these and more farmers will use these because Definitely. Of the cost.
And I know, Sam, this issue of cost is always sensitive. And as our farmers is talking about costs, in terms of synthetics, because generally feeding the world, the argument is you have to sort of, give some leeway. And, very, very sustainable products are assumed to be more expensive. Yeah? And very hard to scale for majority of people. Is this a situation with these products that you offer?
One thing about our products, they are very, very pocket friendly. Mm-hmm. As you can see, as per the display, we have even that farmer who has just 50 by 100 part of an area. Very affordable. Okay. Because they are made in here. They are made in Kenya. Our company is there in Thika. So we don't have that tax duty, war duty to import the products here in Kenya. So once you use the two combination, Mother Flourish and Grow Plus, you can use it as if you are farming using light crop like maize, beans, and so you can use just these two, and you don't have to use any synthetic fertilizer. Heavy feeders, you just need to use 50% of that synthetic fertilizer. And as per what Katila had said, continuous use of these two, we are calling Mother Flourish the game changer. By the end of it, if you continuously use them, you'll end up not using that synthetic fertilizer. You'll end up not using those pesticides, because the microorganisms that are being deposited to the soil, they create unfavorable environment for those pathogens, those disease-causing organisms. Okay. Yeah, so the cost of production is very good. Okay. We have catered for that small-scale farmer.
All right. Yeah. So you're taking care of my pocket, yeah? You don't have to hurt me when we have a very high inflation now, and the cost of living is up the roof, yeah? Yeah. And Mr. Migwe, initially now we want to see, now somebody has had the foundation of our conversation, what sustainable agriculture is. Now they're saying, I want to do sustainable agriculture. How does a farmer begin? Is it just you get a product, you apply, and now you've become a sustainable farmer? Or how do you transition to sustainable agriculture?
Now, what you do, we have field officers from the company. When you consult them, they will come in every meeting you have. Any meeting, any group discussion, if you call them, they are readily available. So they will come, do demonstrations, and then you continue from there. Okay. That's what we have been doing with them.
Oh, yes. So essentially you are shown the way.
Yes. And they are still with us. Okay. Yes. They still come. They come with their products. They teach us. We buy. They follow us to the field to demonstrate. Okay. Yes.
That's quite incredible. I mean, Mr. Robert, in terms of that transition, Because if I've been using synthetics for a very long time, it can't just be sort of a one silver bullet situation or magic bullet situation, and all of a sudden I'm a sustainable farmer. That transition, is it something that a farmer has to be intentional? What are the challenges when somebody is transitioning into sustainable agriculture?
Yeah, you're actually right. It's not a silver bullet, and you can't do an abrupt change, especially if you are relying on it for income. Yes, so it has to be, you have to know what you're doing. And I usually think the most important thing is to understand your soil. You know, if you are using soil as your medium for farming, and so that you understand what your crop is needing from that soil. Because in fact, it could be that you are using, let's say, the conventional fertilizers, and they are doing more harm. For example, if you know your soil already has a lot of phosphate, and you keep on pumping more, something like DAP, you know, you are doing more harm, and you're actually also spending more for nothing. So one of the things you can do is maybe do a soil test, or consult an agronomist, which is another challenge we're facing in this country, because we are not having independent agronomists available. So once you understand that, then you can know which product or which method to use to transition. Okay. For example, as real IPM, they are telling us, you know, you can start with the same Mazao Flourish and reduce the fertilizer you are using during planting, you see. So that way you don't get a shock. And, you know, because something like Mazao Flourish, because we have used it, what it does, it helps the roots. You know, you have a very good root mass that is able to access the nutrients, you know. So even if the fertilizer is not much, the little bit will be effectively used, because we are also told that a lot of fertilizer, maybe like you put urea, a lot of it goes into leaching. Once it rains, you know, maybe like over 50% is washed away with the rains. So once you understand that, and you understand this is the crop I'm doing.
Yes.
This is the kind of nutrients it needs, so you can know which alternative, which sustainable alternative can you start bringing in gradually. So you know, like you can do maybe chicken manure compost to start substituting for things like nitrogen, you know. And also I would advise farmers to take advantage of field days, you know, because like one way I got to know about Mazao Flourish is during the field day, when I met the real IPM people there. Although before I had known them, because I had come across one of their products that we use to control a disease called wilting. Okay. Yeah, so, but I was not aware that they had a whole range of sustainable farming products. Okay. So also a farmer can make use of field days, because that's where you meet many experts. Yes. Congregating together, and you can go to the stands where they are talking about sustainable farming and organic farming inputs. Okay. Yes, and of course there's the issue of being patient, but like Samson said, once you start these organic inputs, definitely your costs for farming go down. They go down with time. And at the end of it, you find that you're not even having the pressure to apply the fertilizers, you know, the conventional fertilizers. Okay. Yes, because already your soil is able to, you know, recycle nutrients enough. It can hold nutrients, you know, it's rich enough Yes.
Oh, that's quite incredible. Mr. Katila, you handle the Western region and Nyanza region, which is a very agricultural, area, so to speak, very fertile. Though we've had, the issue of failed rains is quite a concern, though we are in that planting season. This issue about extension officers, yeah? It seems over time things have changed, because back in the 80s, 90s, yeah, extension officers every corner, it used to be one of those systems that supported agriculture. And even when you talk about sustainable agriculture, I mean, we can't achieve its full potential if we don't have people on the ground, helping farmers, as he said, guiding farmers to do what is right. How can we change this situation? Why, first of all, do we have shortage of extension officers in Kenya?
Okay, thank you. From how things used to be and the way they have transformed to be currently is we initially used to have what we call the government-based extensionists. And I think maybe somewhere the government extensionists were overtaken by the private sectors. So you realize that most private sectors are now taking up the extension services in terms of reaching the farmers to their niches, reaching the farmers to where they are. And most private sectors are trumpeting towards their own goals, their own agendas, and I can say maybe very few will champion about sustainable. Is not that we don't have extension officers, but we just need to have a universal knowledge on sustainability. We have extensions, we have private sectors that are really on the ground. They're really doing a lot of mass trainings and a lot of demonstrations. But the aspect of sustainability is now becoming a challenge, because like I want to position a product that will sell. I'm not looking at how sustainable the soil is. So for us, we think we need actually to work an extra mile to even get or on board or get other private sectors get informed about sustainability. Once they go to the farmers, let them also champion, let them trail to the path of sustainability. And like looking at profitability, that is what much of private sectors are doing.
Okay.
Extension has now become demand-driven. You realize that when a farmer needs to be taken through a certain steps of growth, especially at the national articulate level, the farmer will go for the extensionist.
Okay.
Which now gives a leeway for the private sector to easily get the farmer, because the private sector will go to the farmer where the farmer is, at the niches of the farmers. So it is my plea that if all private sectors can adopt the sustainability, looking at all those three spheres that we talked about,
yes,
and then we will all be trailing on a sustainable path.
Definitely.
And also, as a company, we are also, through the support from what my colleague just said, from Agrify Funds Challenge and what have you, we are also looking at getting these farmers through what our dear farmer said, through field days, because maybe we cannot reach farmer one-on-one as a company, but we get them through field days, we get them through maybe open learnings and market crusades and such like events,
yes,
just to accelerate the adoption of sustainability.
Okay.
And if we uphold that and we move with speed, I believe a good percentage of farmers will be converts of sustainability.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's quite interesting. Samson, I know you are in Kirinyaga. Kirinyaga, how many disciples are you making right now in terms of, since we're talking about the gospel here
Okay,
of
the
sustainability?
sustainable gospel, we kickstarted the sustainable gospel back in 2019. It was a ride on to a mountain. It was hectic. Farmers never thought that you can do farming without use of chemicals. It took me a lot of trainings, a lot of roadside demos. I would just come, if your farm is just near the road, we use a few of our products, peg our notice board there. Maza Flourish has been used here. We do a lot of farmers field day until farmers started. Then there are those farmers, we call them spectator farmers. They first look from a distance. Is it true what Samson is telling us? Then from then, gradually, back in 2019, 2020, I was almost giving up. Farmers had refused about sustainable agriculture. But now, I'm never enough for them. It gets to a point that I need extra hands. Because there are farmers, like what Mr. Robert said, he knew about our product. The product was talking about is sustain. For wilting, farmers knew that there is no product that can manage wilting until some farmers started using it. Then one thing about the farmers, they tell each other,
Yes.
okay, do you have wilting problem? Call Mwangi, he has a product that manages
Wilton.
there I come. Then from there I'll tell, we don't know, we not only have sustain, we have this and this and this.
Okay.
So in Kirinyaga, the gospel is getting to a momentum, they are liking it.
Okay.
And what Mr. Robert had also said about the technical people, we don't have shortage of technical people. The problem is we have shortage of non-biased
Okay.
technical people. There are those technical people who will only tell you my product, my product, my product, my product. They will never tell you about sustainable. He is there to take money from you. Then from there, he leaves you dry and goes away. So about technical people, we need to have more technical people giving the true gospel about sustainable agriculture. Because what we have, especially on the field, we have salespeople. You don't have technical people. You have salespeople who are just there to make profits. Those synthetic companies, they pay them well, they have best road shows, they have best design of their product, until the farmer says, I think that product will be better than this.
Okay,
Yeah.
definitely. And I think now we have to, get some proper roadshow kit for sustainable agriculture now. From what I'm getting, it's sort of an old school, new school kind of look. They're doing trendy and it's attractive. We also have that responsibility. But we want to take a short break. When we come back, I would like us to talk about also the role of the consumer. I think it's very important. You mentioned that an avocado, one is costing 20 bob, another one is costing 5 bob.
Yes.
I mean, for a Kenyan, I am going for the 5 bob one. Yeah. So why should I go for a 20 bob one in the name of sustainability, and why that is important? I think that will anchor our discussion in the last bit of it. But right now, we take a short break. Remember, this is Transform Kenya, and we are touching on matters sustainable agriculture, courtesy of Real IPM. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back to Transform Kenya. Discussion is sustainable agriculture, courtesy of real IPM, and we were saying that it is possible to do sustainable agriculture. Transitioning bit of it, I know you're asking a lot of questions and we've heard from farmers. Sometimes there needs to be that phase in and phase out, all right? And it's critical for you to understand so that you don't place, an expectation in that transition, but it's very, very possible. And since this is the planting season, I know really IPM rather, you are really pushing, this particular product of Mazao Flourish, yeah? We are in the planting season, you're very comfortable, the rain is coming, and the farmers are looking for an opportunity to plant. So talk to me about the advantages, yeah? Because you mentioned the product itself, how sustainable it is. What are the advantages? If this planting season, why should I use that? Samson.
Okay. One thing about Mazao Flourish, like I had earlier said, it is very friendly, pocket-wise. Then also about it, if a farmer may ask, how do I use Mazao Flourish? First, let's say the usual farmer who is the maize, bean, and such kind of a farmer, we have 3 methods of using Mazao Flourish. One, you can use as a biopriming. Biopriming is a technical word, but seed soaking. Once you soak your seeds with Mazao Flourish, one thing you had asked about the advantage, the farmer will experience 100% germination of his seeds. So about the profitability, the farmer will not have to go to the shop again to buy more seeds. 100% germination. Secondly, we are not sure about how the rains will be. The rains may be little than we expect. About what Mr. Robert had said, it promotes the root system of the crop. So the crop can take all the nutrients provided very fast because it have very good root mass. And through that, we call it crop vigor. The crop will flourish and it will shoot very fast. That means when the rains capsize or the rain get depleted, you will have attained the stage at which you can do your harvesting. Okay. So early maturity. Farmer will experience early maturity, uniformity in your farm, because you see the seeds sprouted all at the same time.
Okay.
So uniformity in your farm, not that your farm, your maize is up, another that, so you are able to see uniformity in your farm.
Definitely.
Then the added advantage, the much added advantage of using Mazao Flourish is if you use it as prescribed 4:1, 4 times, once a week in the first month of the crop, twice in the second month of the crop, and once in the 3rd month of the crop, you are able to see 30% increase in your production.
Okay.
So that is the profitability part of it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Very, very important. Mr. Katila, any other benefits that we might leave out?
Okay, just to beef up what my colleague has said, Mazao Flourish is also, as he has said, it is a roots enhancer. It gives that biomass, it gives that volume of the roots. What makes a crop sustainable even after we are having very limited rains is because when you talk of that root mass, the roots themselves form what we call natural mulch that is overseen under the soil. So normally as a way of moisture retention, we normally tell farmers to do mulching. And this one gives automatic root mulch because of the mass root network that develops after the use of Mazao Flourish. Another aspect is this product we call Mazo Flourish gives protection against soil-borne pathogens. Those horticulture farmers who do a lot of horticulture farming, our friend Robert, our friend Miguel, they do a lot of horticulture farming amongst other farmers.
Okay.
So who experience a lot of pathogenic attack through the roots. So the product in question, which is Mazo Flourish, gives that ultimate protection, being a fungi, being a bacteria. Then it protects these crops against any attack that is of the pathogen family.
Okay.
So it is a product that is a biofertilizer. It is a nourisher itself because it is an ingredient on the feeding regime of a plant, and also it is an insect pest control. I can say it is a disease control product.
Okay.
So it is, I can say it is a comprehensive product that a farmer can adopt. Despite it being a biofertilizer, it also gives the protection against the pathogens.
All right.
So giving that crop proper ambience or atmosphere to just produce and grow.
Okay.
Yeah, if there's no any form of competition in terms of the roots, then the crop has all that liberty of getting the nutrients, has all the concentration of growth. So Flourish is a product that, from what my colleague has said, if we started from the word go, biopriming, that is putting directly to the seed, and then following up with the drenching. Drenching is now application after the crop has just developed 2 true leaves. And then you do your constitution, you take the required volumes of Mazo Flourish, that is 5 mils per liter of water, and then you do your drenching. You just direct the nozzle, the knapsack sprayer. And then you do the atomization. You calibrate and you make sure whatever is being ejected is, it's like, I can say it's a syringe or something like that.
Yes.
It's not a mist.
Okay.
So you do calibration. So
Okay.
you target the roots. So after that, if you follow up with other foliar applications after the crop has attained more than 5 foliage or 5 leaves, and then the crop is at utmost growth rate, where now it can ultimately use the product and also get that protection from the soil.
All right.
So this product is also easy to use. Another thing, 0 chemicals. For the farmers who do like what Miguel is doing, a lot of vegetable production, we normally ingest a lot of chemicals to vegetables. One thing I can assure our viewers and listeners is this product is 0 chemicals.
Okay.
It's a product that has 0 post-harvest interval. Post-harvest interval is that period after application of a certain product. We are given maybe 7 days, 14 days for you to harvest. So this one is 0. You do applications in the morning, you harvest your products in the morning, you consume.
Okay.
So long as you wash it well. So it is 0 chemicals.
Right.
So it is a product that can be used in all our farming practices and activities.
Okay.
And for the farmers embracing export, this is also an export product because we are looking at the residue levels. We are looking at the chemical residues after our products, like what our friend Miguel is doing for avocados. Recently, we saw a lot of avocados being sent back because maybe they had 2-3 defaults that emanates from the chemical residues. So this one is a product that once you use it on our crop, you get your product to the airport, it goes to the international bodies without questions.
Okay.
So it is a product that has 0 chemicals, 0 residues, and 0 PHI.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of benefits right there. And I promised our viewers, in terms of the market, the role of the consumer, Mr. Miguel, you know, you talked about the avocado, and as I told you, there's a likelihood I'll go for the 5 shillings avocado. Whereas there is also another one that you've produced sustainably that goes for 20 shillings. Why should a consumer be more concerned on how that particular produce is produced, first of all?
Okay. At times, you will come to realize cheap will become expensive health-wise. Then, when we started with real IPM, we came to learn that we shall start using that slogan, ati sio bora kazi, tunataka kazi bora. Maximum production, low producing cost. That's why you should come for that piece of avocado. You don't know where it has been produced. I've already told you, we have partnered with some buyers. We have partnered with Horizon, a group of companies. They came and told us if we are not going for organic farming, they will not buy for us. So, because we had already started with our friends in real IPM, we have a field officer known as Mr. Vincent Muriuki. He has been visiting us always. Now, that man from Horizon sent an auditor to come and see our produce before he buys. That's why we are always for organic farming rather than conventional.
Here in Kenya, do you also get people really looking into whether your avocados are sustainably produced and even shunning those that are not sustainably produced?
Very much. What they do, they said their officers also.
Okay.
They come for samples. They go for testing. After testing, if those residues my friend is talking about, they will not buy that piece for you. But that produce will go to the market, to the buyer who doesn't know anything. Yes. Yes. And definitely, I will invite you one of these days to come and see an organic farming, organic produced avocado.
Yes.
And you compare with the other one.
All right.
Yes, please.
I will test. I'll place one here.
Okay.
And another one here. Okay, full avocados. I'll be just so that to warn you, yeah?
Maybe you will not know through the naked eyes.
Yes.
But after testing.
After testing, it will tell the difference.
Okay, but not through the mouth.
Yes.
you take it to the laboratory for testing.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very important to know. Because, Robert, the issue about sustainable product from a consumer perspective, we always see it as something that especially the Western world and the export market are really concerned about. Everyone is going green these days and sustainable. So even where their food is coming from, they'll be very critical. From farm to fork, is it something that is being done sustainably? But our local producers, our local consumers rather, me and my brother and the people who are handling these cameras, that is least of our concern. Is it time that the consumer information and concern about the kind of products they're eating should be taken care of?
Yes, definitely. People should be concerned, and because it has a direct bearing or a direct effect on their health and eventually their pockets. There are so many effects on that come from farming, and you realize that farming actually is a main activity for so many people. So even if you are not directly consuming products that have been grown with a lot of pesticides, you could be living in an area where they are doing a lot of pesticide spraying. And you know, nowadays we have even, with technology, we are having even drone spraying and all that.
Yes.
And you know, those are kind of aerosols and mist are being spread over wide areas. So who knows the effect that is having, especially on the young children. So people should certainly be concerned. And we know there are some vegetables, let's say like broccoli, which in large-scale farming, people use a lot of pesticides. So I also think it's an issue of systems, and I wish we had more credible organizations to certify this is organic, this is not organic. For example, I was watching a YouTube clip where someone was was growing vegetables, and they spray fungicides, very early on and all that. Then one of the places they go to sell is the organic farmers market. So you see, people are not aware, or even if, when they are trying, they are not aware of what they are what they are consuming.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's an issue of systems, because we see like the organic farming products that we use. If the products come from Europe, for example, they have a lot of stamps, organic certifying. You have like, this is Omri certified for organic farming, this is what certified for organic farming. So I think people like Real IPM can also help us, to come up with such certifying bodies that people can trust.
Okay.
And know actually we are consuming organically grown or crops that do not have a lot of chemical residues on them.
All right.
Yes.
That's very important.
And maybe also, if you are living somewhere where you have your local farmers, I think if you support your local farmers, yeah, so like us, and buy from your local market, I think that way you are more likely to consume. Because you see, a local farmer will shy from using very toxic chemicals, because it's in the neighborhood.
Yes.
Yeah, but like, it's not like buying the sorry to say, like the imported or stuff that comes from far.
Okay.
Yeah, which I'm sure most of it is grown with a lot intensive spraying of chemicals.
Definitely.
Yes.
That's very important to know. And I know time is really running out. We have almost, I think, 5 minutes remaining. And I want to bring in Samson. Samson, I know, we are talking about sustainable agriculture, and somebody even has not yet started, or they don't know how to do this. But there are spaces that this could be demonstrated to them across the country. Where are these spaces, and when can I come and learn something from them?
Okay. About sustainable agriculture, there are those farmers who believe seeing is believing, who have that feeling that when I see, I believe. We have our demonstration farms all over the country. I'll just mention 5, which are permanent demo farms, where a farmer can visit free of charge. You are not charged even a coin. Get in, learn, then go spread the sustainable agriculture gospel. So in Kirinyaga, we have our demo farm in Kimbembe. Kimbembe is in Moya, where the home of rice. Then we have 2 permanent demonstration farms in Meru. One in Kisima, another one in Curio. Like that one in Kisima on 9th March, we have a few days there. Farmers should go there. Farmers of Meru. I know this program is far much watched. Visit Kisima demonstration farm there. You will see crops that have been grown biologically, no chemical, no residue. In Western Kenya, we have Bukura, ATC, where we have a technical officer. Our technical officer there who trains farmers who get in. You are trained, you see the crop, and you go spray the gospel. Then we also have in our office, Kichos in Thika, we have our demonstration farm also there. That's the only place you will be charged 500 shillings to go and view. You go there, you will learn all about vertical gardening, all about our biopesticides, all about our biofertilizers.
Okay.
It is in Thika along off Gatanga Road.
Yes.
opposite Jogo Kemakia Road, 3.5 kilometer there. You go there, visit and see, and then from there believe that sustainable agriculture is there.
Okay.
It is possible, and you see very good crops, better than those
Okay.
you have produced synthetically.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The gospel is definitely being preached. And let's have more people, especially if you're looking for, a proper demonstration on how this happens and whether it's real or not, because most of the time conversations and we are not demonstrating here, so take time, go to the demonstration farms, Kisima farm on the 9th of March from 10 a.m. You can learn a lot from there. Gentlemen, we have less than 3 minutes based on our timing. Parting shot, yeah, starting with you, Mr. Katila. What's the future of sustainable agriculture in Kenya? Briefly.
Thank you. Being very brief, the future of sustainable agriculture lies in real IPM arms because it autonomously preaches sustainability and adoption of technologies that can bring back what we thought is dead to life.
Okay.
So sustainability lies in real IPM hands. Let's all adopt these. Let's all practice all these technologies. Let's all have our bioproducts in your shelves, in your homes, and we are going to see a lot of changes in terms of sustainability, production, and also health status. And that is all we are looking at when it comes to sustainability.
Okay, definitely. I'll come to you, sort of how we can reach you guys, but briefly, sir, I know as an avocado farmer, in terms of that whole sector of avocado farming, will it all go sustainable? Briefly, in less than a minute?
Personally, I think it is possible. We have an organized group known as Ruegeda Farmers Avocado Group. We have organized ourselves and partnering with others like Real IPM and others, like the bank providers, financial providers, that is people like Equity and others. Now, I will only request my fellow farmers to come and join us where we have that group of mine, where we practice that type of farming, and you'll see the difference.
Okay, definitely. Robert, in less than 20 seconds, time keeps on decreasing.
Yes.
The future of sustainable agriculture?
Yes, it's possible. It's getting more accessible. So you just need to really make an effort to understand your soil, to understand your crops. Now we have internet. You can access products for sustainable farming. You can access expertise for sustainable farming. And we are also there as fellow farmers in case you need help. Yeah, we are there to assist.
Definitely.
Yes.
It's a community. Katila, closing up, how do we reach Real IPM?
Real IPM, you get us on these numbers. You can physically visit our offices in Kichozi or call the office number, which is 0725 806 and 086. 0725 806 086. You can call that anytime. You get your queries, you get answers, you get assisted. Any part of the country, you are linked with the regional technical officer who will guide you through production and sustainability.
All right.
Thank you.
Lovely. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure talking to you guys on sustainable agriculture. And we definitely are going to be doing sustainable panel balancing. Not just a lot of men on the panel. This is definitely in preparation of International Women's Day tomorrow, but I really appreciate Samson Mwangi, Field Technical Officer from Kirinyaga under Real IPM, John Katila, also FTO from Western Region, Robert Keruki, farmer, and Njoroge Mugwe, also a farmer. Thank you, gentlemen, for your input on this conversation right here at Transform Kenya on matters sustainable agriculture, powered by Real IPM. Thank you for being with us. My name is Nokip Kimboy. Enjoy the rest of your viewing. Good night. That was good.